I'll do the buffalo chicken sandwich.
Grilled.
No, I'll do fried today, just cause.
All right, it says
Whatever. I know I'm such a hypocrite, right?
It says excellent
No.
connection now.
And do you want fries?
Do I have to make another Patreon video post?
Actually, instead of doing a sandwich, can I do the chicken tenders and fried pickles? That's what I'm gonna do instead. I don't want a sandwich. Oh, do I want a sandwich? I'll do the buffalo sandwich.
Okay.
With fried pickles. On that buffalo sandwich, is there an option for ranch instead of the blue cheese? If not, it's fine.
Hey, I think it.
I know the pickles come with ranch. Blue cheese sauce, tomato,
There we go.
I'll just do the blue cheese. It's fine. Just leave it as is.
I'll put a note and maybe they'll get it right. You know.
We should still be on the same stream. From what I'm seeing here.
I just want the blue cheese. Actually, just leave it as is.
Okay, boxer sandwich. John wants fries. You want buffalo, pickles, and ranch. DoorDash is the best.
I never use it. Yeah. Probably should. No. Because honestly, like, I'll either have, like, what will happen is I'll go home and I'll take a nap, then I'll go to practice, or I'll also go straight to practice, then go home, and then eat. Or I'll have to go to work and then go home. And then I usually don't eat after work because I get out late. I'm going to grab another beer before we start.
Okay.
Anyone want anything?
I'm good.
John, do you need anything? Is everyone empty? That I can take an empty?
Yes, that is empty. Thank
Do you have any empties, John?
He probably does, but it's okay. I'll grab it later.
All right, I think we're up. We're not up. I'm sorry, guys. Technology. It's the internet. Seems to be slow. I don't know what's going on.
1 second.
But anyway, we are back. We're back.
And now you're back from outer space. That look upon your face.
Let me know if someone gets on. All right, let's go through this story. All right, let's get this thing done.
Dunzo.
Done.
So he went to get a glass of water from her apartment.
Yeah, then this guy Tetsuya draws a little picture, kind of a quick sketch, a little doodle, like the doodler, and puts his number on there. And basically, they make an appointment for her to. I'm looking better. Just saying. Basically, they make an appointment for both of them to meet at a coffee shop nearby.
Like a date?
No, not a date. She is going to teach him a private English lesson. So it's strictly professional. Now, she does this all the time. In fact, a lot of teachers do it. They teach. The Nova organization, the one that owns the college, said that they're allowed to teach as they, number one, do it in a public location, and number two, leave a note of where they're going to be and who they're with. Those are just like their guidelines, you know. And luckily she did, because that's how we know who exactly killed. Like, that's how police immediately got to this guy.
But wait, you said that so they knew right he was a killer, but it took them so really long time to find him.
What? No.
Wasn't that
no?
what you said at the beginning?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So I did say that. No.
That's when we went to with this whole disguise thing.
Yeah. No. So they did. They
Oh.
found him. They caught him, but he got away.
Oh.
And then they didn't arrest him again until 2 years later.
It's interesting that you said that he did the sketch. It kind of reminded me of that other case that we did. I think it was another Japanese story where the guy was like drawing in the apartment, or the victim was drawing.
The Hello Kitty murder?
No, it wasn't the Hello Kitty murder. I don't remember which one it was, but like they were drawing something in the apartment. I don't know. I don't remember. But I do remember that part, but I don't remember the details of the story.
So she leaves a note on her dresser. Hey, I'm going to the coffee shop with this guy at this time. That's how police knew where she was or where they found her body. Now, Nova didn't report. Now, Nova is the school, the organization.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't report her missing until 2:30 p.m. on Monday, March 26th. So basically 2 full days. Sunday, apparently, she teaches on Sunday. Well, 2 days after. So, Nova didn't report her missing until 2:30 p.m. on Monday, March 26th. The paper says she missed 2 days of work, but
Oh, no.
maybe she does work 6 days a week. That's right. I said that earlier. So
6
she does
days a week.
So she works on Sunday too. So she misses Sunday completely, and then she misses Monday almost until the end of the day, and then they report her missing to the police at 2:30 that Monday.
Wait, do
Now-
they have school on Sundays, or is that she's just doing private tutoring on Sundays?
No, she works 6 days a week, so she works on Sundays.
So the Japanese school system has school 6 days a week?
I'm talking about this one campus. I don't know if they're all like that. People can do other things, Jen, if they want.
Well, yeah, I am aware of that.
Okay, so, but her family was already freaking out because she is in constant contact with her mother at all times. Like within a few hours, they're emailing or texting or doing something. They're always in contact, especially since she's only been there for 5 months and her dad is already flipping out. He doesn't want her to be there at all. So the mother actually emailed her daughter in that morning, but never got a response. And the call to the parents came from the school on that Monday evening, saying that she has missed 2 days of teaching. So, well, here's what happened. On Sunday, March 25th is when she gets murdered. She is taken here. If you want to describe this.
It looks like an apartment building.
Yeah, that's his apartment. But what else do you notice about it?
There's a blue tarp.
There's a blue tarp over it. So why do you think the blue tarp will be on the outside of the balcony?
Is that
What are they trying to cover up?
the crime scene?
That is where her body was found. So, I mean, look at the balcony. You share balconies with, I don't know, like 100 different people. Everyone can see in your balcony. Why would her body be found there just laying on the balcony? If he's trying to cover it up and not get caught, why would he put it there? It's crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Just hold on. The murder happened around 10 a.m. on a Sunday, March 25th, 2007. There's CCTV pulling into this apartment via a taxi. So she's pulling in a taxi with the guy. So basically, here's what happened. The murder happened around 10 a.m., 8 a.m. they meet for coffee. They do the lesson. Then he says, hey, do you want, somehow, whatever he says, do you want to run up to my apartment or whatever? She is already creeped out by it, but she agrees. And worst decision ever. The taxi pulls up, and you can actually see her getting out of the taxi and telling the taxi driver, just wait, don't go anywhere. It's only going to be a minute. I think he says something like, I got to run upstairs and get something or whatever. So she tells the taxi driver, it's only going to be a minute. Don't go anywhere. 7 minutes later, he pulls off, and he is grilled by the police. And apparently he is distraught that obviously he pulled off, even though he wouldn't, how would he ever know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he still has to live with that decision. But then again, what would he do? Go up there? I'm sure like that happens all the time and nothing nefarious is going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, 7 minutes later, he pulls off for another job. Okay, this is a quote from him, Tatsuya.
She had been bound and gagged with plastic ties and scarves, but only apparently after a life or death struggle. Barely an inch of her body was unmarked by bruises or injuries, even her feet. Lindsay was 5'10" and learned.
What the heck? Is that the right one? Oh, yeah, that is right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Lindsay was 5'10" and had learned martial arts, but Ichihashi was taller, just under 6 feet, and a black belt, constantly at the gym practicing his own martial arts and habitually cycling 25 kilometers every day. He had finally strangled Lindsay, breaking her neck.
All right, so this is how the murder goes down. And the papers say she was, quote, sadistically beaten and survived for a full day being gagged and bound. So this, what you're reading, what you just read is a period over the whole time she was there. So this goes on the 25th, and she was found the next day on the Monday, right, after police were notified. So here's a quote. It says, "This is dreadful to say, but he punched, kicked, or used a blunt instrument throughout her body. This could have gone on for a day and a half, possibly, before the poor thing eventually died." And the father says, quote, "When I had to identify my daughter, the Japanese had her so that I could only see the top of her head and face." So the dad and the boyfriend fly to Japan, and she is so badly beaten that they would only show the father the top of her head and her face. So everywhere else is completely beaten. Quote, "I didn't want to take the gown off and see the rest of the body. Her face was badly beaten. They had to put a lot of makeup, and my daughter never wore makeup, so we never realized the extent of her injuries. She was also bald. He shaved her head."
Oh, no.
Do you want to guess why he would do that?
No, I don't have any idea. This is the first time we've heard of that.
Okay, so here's how it goes down. It most likely happened right when they got up there. They get into the apartment, and neighbors would say they heard, ruckus or whatever. But she had all these, like hundreds of these little egg-sized bruises all over her body, little circular things. What that was basically her body being bounced off the furniture. He is a martial artist. He was literally doing martial arts as a form of torture, bouncing her off the sofa, the chair, whatever. That's where all these bruises came from. So I don't know how it started, and he never said, but they got into some sort of struggle, and he was basically beating her for fun at that point. So that's why she had all those bruises. She was bald, and the reason she was bald, do you remember when I said that he studied botany?
Mm-hmm.
So he actually has a pretty good idea of how decomposition works. So if you want to get rid of a body, and I never thought about this. I don't think we've ever covered a killer that would do this. What's the last thing that's going to decompose on a body?
Hair.
The hair. So what you do is you cut the hair completely off, and you dispose of the hair in another place. In his city, quote, but it's a sister boy, I believe, which basically means a cross-dresser. So he had wigs in his apartment. The police don't know. I mean, I don't think he would have used her hair as a wig, but he could have. But we do know that hair is the last thing to decompose. So, and I never heard anyone do that.
No.
I think that's actually pretty intelligent to, just saying, like, I mean, I've never seen anyone do that, and it does make a lot of sense. You know, because they could get DNA from your hair too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if the body's decomposed, well, I guess some bone and stuff, they could get DNA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Wow.
quote, it was as he'd systematically injured every part of her body. It was sadistic. He actually goes to the police later, but she rejected it. So she was sexually assaulted. She was raped. And he would say that he had filled the bath up, and how bathtubs work in Japan. And I learned this. You can actually you can pick up a bathtub and move it. They're not very big.
Mm-hmm.
They're not very heavy, apparently. I mean, you think of your bathtub, you ain't picking that bitch up.
Oh, no.
But the bathtubs in Japan, you can actually, I guess your sister might have one of those. It's hooked up to, like the water line is visible, and you can remove the bathtub and put something else there in the meantime. I mean, it's like efficiency for space or whatever. So
Living on base, and it's like very Americanized
yeah.
apartment living.
So the bath water comes important because it was like he fills it up after he's beaten her unconscious. Then he goes to rape her, but she is screaming. So he's dunking her head in the water to stop the screaming. All right. Now, the papers say that she was buried or initially the papers say she was buried in a mixture of sand. That's not true. It was this composite soil they use, I guess, everywhere, but they have it in Japan too. It's basically to help decomposition, and it's like mulch. You know, it breaks stuff down, and so stuff can grow. So she was actually buried in that. This guy is on CCTV. He goes to the hardware store. He gets a shovel. He gets all this decomposition, or he gets all this mulch, this decomposing material, and he puts it in this bathtub with her in it. Now he's going to keep her in this bathtub. So if you go back to the photo here, you see where the tarp is, correct?
Correct.
The reason the tarp is covering the balcony is because the bathtub was on the balcony, and it was being made to look like a flower bed.
Okay.
Which you see sometimes that people put flower beds up there, and it's not uncommon for in some Japanese apartments, them to put the tub out there, or an extra tub or something, and to use as a flower pot. So that was going to be the thing. He was going to keep the body there and have it decompose right outside on the balcony. I mean, everyone can see this, but of course she's buried in the dirt. And then flowers were going to grow out of that tub, which is kind of crazy. You guys think so?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is a quote from one of the sources I used. It said, "The police believe he had simply taken a practical approach to disposing of Lindsay's body. It would be hard to take her out and hide her, so he would keep her there until eventually all trace of her was gone. He had cut her hair off and left it in a bag found in the apartment. Hair is evidently slow to rot." That's what the Japanese paper said. I thought it was kind of slow to rot. It's kind of creepy. If you want to read this.
She screamed, so I choked her by putting my arm around her neck from behind. I didn't intend to kill her, the lawyer quoted Ichihashi saying. She was alive until dawn on the 26th. I had no intention of killing her, and also tried artificial resuscitation.
Which is just not true. He actually kept her alive for about a day, gagged and stuff like that, and until he finally put her into the tub. All right, let me talk about Ichihashi. Let me talk about Ichihashi's prior arrest. He's only got, but so here's how it works, right? The parents are calling the school's calling the police. Where's Lindsay Hawker? She's not showing up. They go to her apartment. Roommates let them in, the cops. They go to the dresser. Here's this doodle that this guy made, Ichihashi made, of her, and she has a note there. Says, hey, I'm going to be at this coffee shop at this time with this guy. This is this guy's address, all this stuff. So they just immediately go straight to his apartment and, to apprehend him.
Right.
Now, things are different in Japan. They can't actually, now this is crazy. In Japanese police, the legalities of the police are different. In this specific case, I don't know if all prefectures are like this, but the Japanese police, they can't even knock on your door unless they have probable cause or suspicious intent or something like that. So they actually show up to the apartment and they're not even allowed to knock on the door. Isn't that crazy? Like our cops would at least knock, and if
See what they can
yeah,
get
they
out of it.
can't. I mean, if you invite them in, they can come in, kind of like a vampire. But but like the Japanese police, they can't even freaking knock.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Crazy. But they did see the lights off, but they could see him inside. They did look up a prior arrest record, which is the one thing that allowed them to enter the apartment. So once they have probable cause, they don't even need a warrant. They're just freaking busting in. And this is the probable cause. This was years ago. He was arrested for theft and injury. Basically, he assaulted an older woman while he was trying to rob her. And he actually had that pulled off the courts, but not the official records, where he wouldn't have to serve any prison time because his father had paid 1 million yen, which is only $6,000, still a lot, American, to stop him from going to court at all. But it was still on his record. That gave them intent to enter the apartment. The police, they go to the apartment, and they get a lot of backlash from this because it took 4 hours for them after they found the note and everything to go to the apartment. And two of the officers show up. They go up to the room. 7 more officers show up outside. So there's a total of 9 officers. And this is really important. Ichihashi comes out with a rucksack. He's not wearing any shoes. He's only got a rucksack on, and in the rucksack was his gym clothes. He's constantly working out, and they think he's going to the gym to shower to get some of the evidence off or whatever. So it's just like a change of clothes. One of the police grabbed the rucksack and he bolts. So they have the rucksack, but this guy runs past the 2 police officers, and they were getting a lot of backlash because like they had walkie-talkies, but they weren't on the same channel and shit. So the 2 officers that have just lost the subject or had just lost the perpetrator are trying to call down to the other 7, but they're on the wrong channel, so they don't know the dude's coming type of shit. They get a lot of shit for it. But if you go back to the apartment looking thing, this guy runs down 1 flight of stairs, and then he runs and he jumps off a balcony.
Whoa.
And apparently this dude does a lot of parkour.
I was going to say.
Yeah, so,
Parkour.
what was that from?
The Office.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Parkour. I wish I could do that. I'm just too out of shape for that shit. He runs past the officers down the steps. He does parkour. He gets down on the street. Now the 7 cops on the street, they're like, whoa, that's the guy. Where'd he come from? No, this guy's not wearing any shoes. He bolts off to the east. He runs down this like shady alley. This is in my mind, at least. He runs down this alley. The cops are standing there gaggled up. It's like, okay, let's go chase after him, or what do we do? We got to wait till the captain tells us what to do. 5 minutes later, the guy comes back running full speed. He's now wearing shoes that he's stolen from someone else's house, and he runs right past the officers
This
again.
dude's a hot mess.
He runs right past them. I think he's trying to get his backpack or something, but he runs back right past them, and they can't catch him because I guess he's in top physical condition.
I guess, yeah, shit.
But he comes back, and this is a photo of him. Do you guys, this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's him right there. Now, it's funny about this story is because he comes from a well-to-do family, and reading the story and the interview from his grandfather and his direct parents and stuff like that, it's different from over here in America, because over here, if your son did that, you would be ashamed or whatever. They use the vernacular, or they talk like, they say things like, our son has brought disgrace upon our family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that very formal, you have disgraced our family name. You know what I'm saying? I just picture this guy like, being presented one of those big swords, and he was supposed to stab himself in the stomach. You know how they do if you're disgraced?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy seeing that in all the papers. Yes, our son has disgraced us, you know? And obviously the family is like, they have disowned this kid, right? Are they talking on the thing? I can't see. Are we on the live chat?
No, it was the
okay.
DoorDasher.
Now, 2 years later, they finally catch him, and this is why. So this photo right here shows him as a female.
I was right.
I'm not gonna say it, but Jen was almost right.
But look at the bottom photo there, and I'll put this on talkmore.com. You definitely want to see this. Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Look how different that is.
Very different.
Very different. This guy has been getting plastic surgery for 2 years. You see his eyebrows are completely different. They're lifted.
Yeah.
His lower lip, and so the guy on the right is before the plastic surgery.
Right.
The one on the left, the same guy, is the new him. You see the bottom lip? He actually had
different.
His bottom lip chopped off or
thinned out, yeah.
Thinned out or whatever.
I was gonna say because like that was a very distinctive lip. I think I said it before. Like his
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
Palette.
No, like this line.
No, that's what she's called. Pellet.
Palette.
There's like a cosmetic term for it, but like the little, it's very pronounced, very very pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, I mean, look how he dresses as a woman too. It's almost impossible to tell. That's even before the plastic surgery. So initially he would dress as the woman, but then he started getting plastic surgery, and he's right in town under their noses. He's actually going by a different name.
I was gonna say, like, wouldn't that be a flag when his name is used anywhere? You know,
What do you mean?
If his name was signed up at a plastic surgeon's office.
Oh, yeah, but he's going by a different name. He is going by the name of, let's see if I can pronounce this right. Kosuke, I don't know. He's going by a different name, Kosuke Inoue, and he is working in a construction company in Ibaraki, Osaka Prefecture. Fuck, I'm fucking all these names up. He was arrested 2 years later. Now, this is after the dad. The police had came out and said, oh, he's probably dead, you know, and they basically wanted to call the search off. But the dad, I think the reason they didn't is because that disgrace thing, that Japan did not want to be disgraced. Because you see the dad here. Let me show you the dad right quick. It's really heartbreaking to see him. I thought I put these in the slide, but hold on a second.
Cleft palate? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, cleft palate. That was it.
There's like a cosmetic name for it.
This is the dad right here. You see how just distraught he is?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, this is the photo I was talking about earlier. I mean, it's very sad. This guy is just not good right now, you know. But so I believe Japan, because it was one of the largest manhunts they've had. I think it was like 90 police officers on the case at all time. It was a lot of people. There was 5,000 sightings before they finally captured him. And let me talk a little bit about him real quick. Let's get through it real quick. Ichihachi, he studied botany, so he knew decomposition. Let me see. He had a girlfriend during this that lasted 12 months, and apparently it was a normal relationship. However, I did see in one report that a male prostitute came forward and said that he had been having sex with him, so I guess he's bisexual. Now, he said he would use these drawings to pick up women in bars. Let's see. The apartment that he killed Lindsay in was actually owned by the grandmother. That's the apartment he was born in. He was born there. His whole family was born there. His grandma owned that apartment before he was even a thing. He was born there, and then he decides to do that to the apartment. He actually comes from a well-to-do medical family. His grandmother, his parents' allowance money, which is about 600 euros per month. Yeah, it's like this. We're wrapping it up.
Pretty good allowance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was 30 years old when. Oh, one thing I want to show you real quick. This is cool. I've never seen this before, but he actually had. This guy actually had life-size cutouts of himself. Now, he didn't obviously want this to happen, but they would put these life-size cutouts in all the train stations. I've never seen that before.
That's pretty cool. So you get like more than just a picture, like you kind of get.
Yeah, you get the height. It's the real height and everything, the posture. Because the person that called in that said and when he would get plastic surgery, they would always be like one step behind him. So they would find out that it was him that got plastic surgery. So they would release the new images. That's how you got those new images or whatever, because I guess like you're required to take pictures after the plastic surgery or whatever. And he didn't want to go in there and be like, oh, for some reason I don't want you to take my picture type of thing. So they would release those pictures and everything. He was arrested when he was 30 years old. He was a phone tip came from the ferry terminal. He was headed for Naha in Okinawa Prefecture. He was wearing a cap, sunglasses, and a mask. He had been working for a builder in a construction company and going by that name I said earlier, which I'm probably not going to pronounce again. So, what do you guys think of that?
Interesting.
There was 140 officers on the case at its peak.
Whoa.
That's a lot,
Yeah.
even for, anywhere.
What was his sentence?
He's doing life in prison right now. So there's a movie that was made recently about him, but it's in Japanese, obviously. It's not subtitled, so I didn't even watch it. But it's not about the murder of Lindsay Hawker. It's about his 2 years of running from the police.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's on, I don't know where you can find that thing, but I think it's on Amazon. It's not in English, but that is a pretty new movie. And what did you ask?
What his sentence was, she said.
This is what pisses me off about Japan, and I'm sure the parents hated this too. They didn't push the death penalty on him because they said that he has the ability, or, we may be able to rehabilitate him, which I'm sure pissed the family off so bad. But he did get life. Let's see. This is just a little shit. That's fucking loud. Fuck. So this is the just for you guys on live chat. This is about the
the tarp is there too.
So it's just about his escape. Looks pretty cool, man. That's an English song. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I wonder if it is subtitled. I didn't find it where it was subtitled, but maybe. Would y'all watch it?
Yeah.
But
that looks like the guy from The Walking Dead, doesn't he?
He also
the best character.
He also wrote a book, and in America, that's like that's highly looked down upon. But it was apparently a best-selling book about his 2 years evading the police. I don't know.
Interesting.
And that's also in Japanese. I don't know. But that is the case. I wanted to do that kind of interesting case. I've definitely a couple of first. I've never seen a killer do plastic surgery and blend into the same town. Never seen him cut off the hair. That was a first for me.
Yeah.
And I think that was the two big things. Yeah. So kind of interesting.
Very
what do you guys
interesting.
think?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting.
You were pretty close in your guess, Jen. I will say, you did say cross-dressing.
I did. Well,
and
I said
gender reassignment surgery. Yeah.
So, shit. We got two more, man. If you guys are on live chat, are they off? I can't see them. I don't know if I got the right chat up here.
I paused my video so I wouldn't.
All right. So, we're going to shut it down, but we're coming right back, man. We just got to get you some
We'll be back in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I got 2 freaking kind of short stories, but Halloween-esque, some creepy pastas. So
Yay!
Thanks again. We record these live for you guys every Sunday. We do the episodes for the week, and you can sign up to be a Talkos Primo at talkmore.com/join, and that support us too and support Jen. We're trying to get her, more comfortable. She doesn't get paid anything being a teacher, but so that'd help a lot. I think that's it. Go to talkmore.com if you like this and tell me. And also don't forget to request some stories. And this is episode 271. We'll be back on Thursday and Friday of this week. So be sure to subscribe. Until next time, my name is John. Good night, you lovely, lovely people.